Hi, my name is Nick Caruso, and this is a technical video going over scripting in AutoCapture in order to browse and network share. I've gotten this question multiple times because our other capture components have an ability to browse network shares out of the box. AutoCapture does not. But you can accomplish this through scripting, and certainly you could not only browse a network share, but you could use the same code to do other things like browse other content management systems and so forth. So I have a network structure here, or a folder structure here, and you can see here I have, if I click on clients, I have a list of clients. If I click a subfolder here, I have another subfolder called file. I have subfolders and so forth. So this is Windows Explorer, and if I want to do the same thing in AutoCapture, I have AutoCapture here running on the left. You can see here my drop-down list shows me a list of subfolders, and I'll do the same thing, so clients. When it does that, it refreshes this drop-down list to then show me the list of subfolders in that folder. So let's just do Ackman in this case, and you can see I'm drilling down through those folders and navigating them through. You'll also notice there's a dot dot up here to navigate back up. Now this is all done through scripting, and this sample config is provided in this video. There's an attachment to it. Just to go over the configuration itself, I'll open it up right now. So here's the configuration that's attached to this video, and it's just a very basic configuration. I have the folder and the file name RRT, and my send to folder configuration just uses that full RRT path and the file name that's being prompted at the panel of, in this case, the AutoCapture. So let's go into the script itself. All right, now, like any script, it's very customizable. It's how you wish to do it. So if you don't want to do the dot dot to navigate up, if you want to show the full folder path, you can do that. A couple things, and I've gone over this in several example videos already, so that I'm not going to go into a lot of script training here, but it's always a good practice to extract out the heart of the operation into code that's not specific to AutoStore, so you can do some more unit testing. So there's a function here called get subfolders, and you pass in your current folder path. And I took this code from another video I did on some other training. So you can search, if you want to build a search capability, this function does support it. And you can test that here by just uncoming out this message box and hitting compile, and you'll see here what it does is it runs this function and outputs a question mark delimited list of folders that are then used to update that list box in AutoCapture. The reason I'm using question marks is because question mark is not a valid folder name, so you wouldn't want to use in this case a semicolon, because the semicolon and I think a comma is a valid Windows folder, so a question mark is not. So you know that you won't have any collisions by using a question mark. You can see here that worked, and so this is just using standard Windows file system object APIs in order to retrieve a list of folders and creates a question mark delimited list, which is then used later on. Additionally, you'll notice that in the example I had provided here, it's not showing this full folder path, and you may want to do that for security reasons or just convenience, that especially if you have a very, very long root folder that you want to start off, maybe hack some UNC slash folder slash folder slash folder, you don't want to show that whole path in there. So I'm just showing the current selected folder and then the subfolders here. In order to do that, we have a couple of helper function here. What's the parent folder name? This is being used when you want to go back up. And what's the current folder name? And so you can see here some unit testing can be done there. So if I pass in this full path, you can see here the parent folder, it's just pulling that back. Lots of different ways to do that. These were just some example helper functions. All right, so these are two of the core functions that are being used to help in the workflow. So let's go into the AutoStore API itself. So there's a hook on here called form on load, and it's calling an update list box. And there's a field on change. As you change that drop-down box, you're updating the list box. You're passing in the form object, and in this case, the current field value. The field value will be the current selected path. On form load, which happens on first load, you're doing the same thing. You're passing the form, but you're passing in the root folder. In this case, the root folder is what you want it to specify. So this is where you would put in where you want this workflow to start. Okay, so update list box is the main function here. I'm passing in a couple of status messages to the status monitor, just for helping troubleshooting. And the rest of this stuff, it's just using, calling those functions that I created earlier down here, and updating the list box appropriately. And that's it. So hopefully this is helpful. If you have any questions, please reach me at nick.caruso@notablesolutions.com. Thank you.